Author Shelly here. So today we are going to be doing a writing vlog where I'm going to get started working on book 16 of Bugztopia. I had to look at what number of books I was at. So little quick information, I am a middle grade children's chapter book author. I write the Bugztopia PD series. This is book 1 in the series, The Attack on Ant Hill. It is a middle grade book for 9 to 12-year-olds. It's got mystery, detective work, and overarching evil. And as the name of Bugztopia hopefully suggests, it's got bugs, lots and lots of bugs. It's actually a city of bugs. Basically, to sum up this series in the easiest way possible, Bugztopia is a city of bugs where the police officers or the insects are going around trying to protect the rest of the bugs of the city. But there is a big crime family situation going on in each of the book series. This series is going to be more than just the Bugztopia PD series. I have ideas to do an Insectopolis series, which is another city within the series. I have plans to do other cities in the city, but I also have ideas to, other cities in the nation. Then I also have ideas to do picture books, short stories, maybe novels. I don't know. I just have a wide range of ideas for this series, and I would love to explore them all. But right now I just need to focus on one series. Man, I would love to work on more than just this one book at one time for for the Bugztopia and Shelly name. But I don't think that's possible because I do write in 3 other pen names. But yeah, so we are working on book 16. What can I tell you about this book? So this is the start of season 3 of Bugztopia. So with Bugztopia, I've divided them up into different seasons or different arcs of the story. So in season 1, we're following Officer Renee and Officer Francis. Season 2, we are following Officer Bug and Officer Ryan. And season 3, so far I know we're following Officer May. Who else we're following? I'm not entirely sure yet, because some drama is going down. But yeah, so it's all gonna be super entertaining and stuff. I have previously written book 15, and book 15 is really the start of the series. I just need to kind of go back and reread it, kind of get an idea on what the story was about pretty much, because I've honestly, I haven't forgotten, I just kind of forgot the key points that I wanted to hit on kind of things. So that's something that I'm going to be working on, and before I get started working on book 15, I am going to be doing the edits of it. So I got these edits back sometime in September. I don't remember when. It was last week or 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago actually. But so these are edits that I got back from my editor. My editor reads the first draft of the book, kind of gives me an idea on everything, and also just grammatically changes things. Yeah, so I'm going to reread it as I do the edits and stuff, and then eventually get started on working on book 16. My game plan for this video is to have it last a day or 2. I'm honestly not sure. We'll just see how it goes. Yeah, but tonight is, I say tonight as in it's late, but it is 3:18 on the 28th, and yeah, I think we just need to get started. So let's go. Okay guys, so I just took a little bit of time to get myself set up. I've got all my documents pulled open. I've got my binder here that I showed you all pulled open with the pages of the document. Well, my book 15. I'm not starting on chapter 8. But I previously have already edited up to chapter 8, so just doing the second half of the book. I've got 8 chapters to go through. I've got some water with some ice in it, which typically when I do drink water, I usually have tea, which is I just call it flavored water. But I just call it water. But I just typically don't have ice in it just because I do have to use ice trays, and I've only got one of those. Sorry, that was a side tangent. But so yeah, got my documents pulled open on there. I got my pages. So this is what my edits kind of look like. Sorry, the paper's so big. But basically they're just red marks, kind of like, I envision this kind of how like you did in like high school and elementary school, you know, like your classmate would take a classic red pen and change the edits and stuff. I just realized my computer switched off. So yeah, that's basically it. My editor is a school librarian. I knew her back in high school. She was my high school librarian. And she's done really good. She's done all my books edits wise. But I feel like the problem with my edits, like with my way of doing things, is that I send her the very first draft of the book. And I feel like I should send her later drafts to get better proofreading, which maybe I'll do in the future, but for right now I think it works. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to get started working on chapter 8. I plan on getting this all done today. Possibly, like, if I do need to reread what I'm going through, I will. But for right now, I'm not sure. Yeah. So I've been rambling enough. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so it is now 4:34. I just got done editing. Well, my editor has changed for book 15. I transferred what was in this red folder into a blue folder for season 3. If you look down here in this corner, that's where I have all my binders that have the original copies of the Bugztopia books. I feel like original is the right word. The first draft of the books. I marked down the page counts, counts and stuff on the draft 1 page. And now I've also set up book 16's page. So what I do on this is I have little, I think they're 2x3 little sticky notes in different colors. This one has different character names that I need to remember for this book. Because I did make new I made new characters, new police officers for this book, for this section of the book series. So yeah. But usually on these sticky notes, I put like chapter, page count, page number, and then word count at the end of the book. Well, at the end of the chapter kind of thing. And if there's any notes to like characters or things that I need to remember, I will put it in like these side little panels here. But what am I going to do currently? Because it is 4 o'clock. I need to pray my rosary because I'm trying to get into doing that every day. Which I'll probably do, and I'll also watch some like spiritual videos for me. If you guys don't know, I'm Catholic. I was born and raised Catholic, recently getting back into my Catholic faith. I wouldn't say I ever like completely fell out of it. But I don't know how to word this exactly, but I kind of did resent my Catholic faith for a while. Resent doesn't feel like the right word, but like, I don't know. I'm only 25. I feel like everyone after high school goes through like, at least this is my belief, like goes through this like rebellious stage after high school and kind of just, I don't want to say forgets about their faith, but kind of goes on a little journey with their faith. Something all my siblings have done. And, you know, this could just be personally my faith, like my beliefs, since I did watch my brothers who are not Catholic anymore. They're not religious at all. But, you know, it's just something interesting. But yeah, so I'm going to quickly say my prayers. I'm going to then possibly go back and I think I'm going to say my prayers and then I'm going to go back, read books 15 take notes and be like, okay, this is some plot threads that I wanted to incorporate, because I completely forgot that I forgot some key factors in the ending of book 15 that need to get tied into book 16. Because the way that this series works is like book 1, book 7, book 15 are all the start of a separate series. So like it's a start of a season. Hold on, let me get the books out. So like this is a season of books. When I have the yellow books out, which will be season 2, which will be 7 through 14, they are part of a season. So you're ideally supposed to read the season in order based on the colors. So like 1 through 6, you're supposed to read it in order. 7 through 14, you'll read in order. 15 to whenever this one ends, you'll read in order. Like, I don't know how else to describe it other than like you're supposed to read it in order. And like if you don't want to read the original books, then you at least need to read book 7 kind of thing. Does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like the way that I've set this world up is a little unique. But like I don't think I could imagine this book series written in any other way. And honestly, I do still think it needs to be a series. I can't make I can't make the first 6 books a series by itself and then expect season 2 to be called something else besides Bugztopia PD. Like, they're all just part of Bugztopia PD. I don't know. It's just the way that I believe. Yeah. I feel like I'm rambling. But so yeah, I'm gonna say my prayers, do some writing, we'll do some note-taking, and then probably tomorrow I will get started with actual writing after my doctor's appointment. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye! Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've updated you guys on this video. So the last clips were back in September 28th. It is currently the 8th of October, and I'm like, wow, I've done some fine working on my books. The last several weeks, I've just been journaling. That's all I've been doing. Or I worked on a picture book that I want to do for one of my other pen names that I'm working on. But I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and actually work on my books instead of just journaling. Like, yes, journaling is important because it lets me, like, let my emotions flow and stuff. But I also have to realize, like, I'm still an author, or I'm still trying to pursue my author career, and it doesn't make sense to just let things just sit on the wayside while I journal all the time, you know? So, yeah. But so we are working on book 16. I think this clip is going to wrap up the video so far, just because I'm just like, I don't know what I talked about in the beginning. I could rewatch the clips, but I don't like doing that. But so basically I finished editing the book. I transferred it from my red folder into my blue folder. My blue binder. Basically that is done. I then reread the work. I have a few notes that I want to implement, which basically a lot of it is kind of like, I don't know how to, like, I have two things that I'm keeping in the background. So basically the first one is Officer Bruce's background story. So I don't know if I've ever told you guys how Bugztopia works, but Bugztopia is like a multi-season long book series. So I'll get book 1 out real quick. So book 1 or season 1 is this kind of greenish colored book. It follows Officer Francis and Officer Renee. Season 2, which hasn't come out yet, hopefully by 2028 it'll come out. But that is Officer Ryan and Officer Bug's story. And it is a continuation of the series, but not necessarily in the same beats as book 1, like the season 1. Like, there's like a lot of consistency, like, and that's something that I wanted. Like, it takes a lot longer at the end to do a lot of stuff, rather than like in book 1, like season 1, it was super quick, if that makes sense. But I just really wanted to expand on how time worked in this. And you know, people probably will disagree with how I did it, but this is just personally how I wanted to tell the Bugztopia story. And then season 3 is the season that I'm working on currently, which is book 15 through whenever the book gets done. And with this, I am basically kind of continuing on with the story. Like, so we've kind of got both perspectives of the kidnapping pretty much. And now we're going to work into kind of the bigger picture story, because or keep evolving the story as time goes on. And like I do have plans to eventually like have spin-off seasons or spin-off series. Like I have an idea for a series that's going to be called Insectopolis PD, which will be focused on the storyline of Insectopolis and like their police officers and stuff. There's also another town that I just realized I almost forgot about, which is Trippingville, which is another world, like another city that I want to expand more on, and that is where Officer Bruce actually came from originally. And so there is something interesting about the Bugztopia world is like obviously these are all insect characters, and typically all the insects have like the same species of parent. Like let's say Officer Renee. Officer Renee has an monarch butterfly and a monarch butterfly as her parents, and that is why she's a monarch butterfly. Officer Francis has 2 different colored orchid mantises as his parents, and that's how things go. But with Officer Bruce, he has something quite interesting, which is that his dad is a cockroach and his mom is just a black beetle. I never really specifically said what type of beetle, but I always described him as kind of like an odd-looking beetle. Like, it's just always been odd, and I kind of explored a little bit in book 15 that he had to have reconstruction surgery to figure himself, like, reassign his facial features instead of looking like a cockroach. That was like a word I was looking for. And instead of looking like a cockroach, he then looks more like his mom. But he still looks odd, you know, he's got scars running down his chin and stuff, so it's just interesting things. And so that kind of all ties into what my nephew wants to be like the biggest, baddest thing on this planet is this scorpion that is trying to make the perfect insect. I was about to say perfect human, but we're not in a human world. But so this scientist wants to create this perfect insect because he, like I said, is a scorpion and his partner is a centipede. So they're trying to perfect the perfect individual. I don't want to give too much away, which I think I already did. But you know, this story is going to be coming out later. When I mean later, I mean a lot later, so it's okay to spoil things. But yeah. So, yeah. That's kind of all I gotta say. I've got like ideas to expand things. Part of me is like I just need to completely go down the rabbit hole of just rereading all the books, putting all of the implements that I want to put, like not implements, but like all the ideas that I have down, write it in a journal, and just let things just flow, I guess, or just like continue writing based on like ideas. And also I really want to like fully dive deep into the Bugztopia world. Like I want to continue writing multiple series, but I just don't have the time. Like I'm working on 3 different pen names, also on a grandma project, which is almost done, which is just a project that I'm working on for my grandma for Christmas, and I'm just like, I need time to do other things. So yeah. But that's all I gotta say for today. I will hopefully come back sometime next week or then the week after for a writing vlog. But yeah, that's all I gotta say in this video. I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye!